everybody, so welcome back to my channel. If you are here, you already know where we're finna talk about what happens to child support. Unpaid child support, are they obligated? I actually got a lot of questions on my how to get a divorce for free video, and I also get a lot of questions on like other videos because, as most of you know, or now you know, I'm a single mom. I've been a single mom pretty much my child's whole entire life. She's 4, she'll be 5 soon, and me and her dad have been divorced 4 years in December. So people ask me a lot of questions. Well, how do you make it work? How's it just, you know, it just works? Like, how does it work? How does everything work? Well, I'm about to explain to you guys. I actually got a very in-depth question. Usually I get a lot of like generic questions, and I don't mind. I'll just reply in the comments. But this question was very detailed, and so therefore I figured, let me go ahead and just make a video about it. It's more detailed. So it gives everybody a general idea, and they have to search through the comments for it. So I'm gonna read y'all the question. Can you share more about the child support? You said that just because he was on child support doesn't mean he paid. How does that work? So basically, you guys, yes, I do have my ex-husband on child support. I've had him on child support since my daughter was like 8 months old, I want to say, maybe 4. I don't know. I've had him on child support for a long time, before she was a year old, right? And so basically how it works is they gotta have a job. If the person is not working or refuses to work, child support just accumulates. It just constantly adds up month after month after month after year, and it just accumulates. So my ex-husband does not keep a job. He was in the military at one point in time, but he is not in the military anymore, and he has not been in the military for some years now. So by him not keeping an active job, that means the government, or you know, the state of Texas, because that's where I'm located, in Texas, cannot pull from something that is not there. They can't pull from a non-existent job. Okay, so when you have somebody on child support, 9 times out of 10 is because they refuse to pay anything. They refuse to help. So therefore you have to get other forces involved. So that is why my ex-husband is on child support. And this video is not to bash anyone, but I'm just letting you know my circumstances because I feel like it could really help somebody. So then her question, I don't know if she wants me to say her name, so I won't, but then she has another question. Okay, so what happens to the unpaid weeks and months? So with the unpaid weeks and months, like I said, it just accumulates and accumulates and accumulates. Is he still legally obligated to pay for those weeks and months? Yes, unless we were to go to court and all of a sudden he's like, oh, well, I didn't have a job between this and that, which we actually have been to court. Maybe almost about a year ago at this point. Yeah, because it's August 2020 now. We went last August of 2019. And he did prove to the judge that he was not working, that he was down and out. So therefore, I think they only took like $3,000 off of what he owed, but he still owed a lot of money. So if someone can prove in court that they weren't working, that they didn't have a place to live, stream of income, and all of those things, then he might, that particular person, because some women are on child support, might not have to pay that if the court, you know, decides there's evidence, right? So the next question was, are you able to take him to court for the unpaid child support? Yes, you are able to take someone to court for unpaid child support. My only thing about that is the other person, one, may not show up, which happens a lot. Or you were there for hours. Literally, you guys, this is why I don't take my ex-husband to child support court, because it is literally so draining. It is the absolute most draining thing to have to tolerate, to have to argue about. Is the other party financially taking care of another human that they helped create? It is extremely exhausting. Like, extremely exhausting. So that's why for me, if we don't have to go to court, I'm not taking them to court. It's too much work. I have other things I have to do. And you don't get paid when you go to court, okay? So if you have a job, I've had to take off from work to go to court to have the other party not show up. And it's a waste of my time. It really is. So I also get a lot of comments under other videos saying, well, that's not fair. Here's my thing. Life ain't fair. Life is not fair. It's unfortunate about the circumstances that I got dealt with, that my daughter got dealt with, but at the same time, I just refuse to sit here and argue with someone who I already know what they're about. I already know they're unwilling. I already know they don't want to, and so therefore, why am I gonna constantly be arguing? It takes so much more energy to argue and fuss about things than it does to just take care of yourself and not even worry about the other party. Because I'm being quite honest with you guys, God has always provided for me and Bailey, time and time again. So me arguing with a human about their responsibilities is kind of pointless. Like, and I know that's like, oh, well, it's not fair. Life ain't fair. No one said life was fair. It's not. It's not. But I put more trust in God and how he can provide for Bailey versus her human father and how he can provide for her. Like, it's just not worth the arguing. It's not worth the, being upset, because honestly, it just takes too much energy. It really does. I want Bailey to grow up in a healthy environment where she's not worried about, oh, well, I can't talk to my dad because they're arguing about money. That God will provide. He has always provided. He continuously provided. You guys, I have not worked like a true 9-to-5 job in over a year, almost 2 years at this point. And God has constantly provided. And remind you, I have not been getting child support. I don't get child support. My ex does not keep a job. And by time, sometimes he gets a job, he might work 2 months. But the way that the system works is they run his, social every day, but catch-22, they don't start pulling out his check until 6 weeks after he's worked there. So it doesn't really even matter at that point. And I know a lot of people are like probably pissed at this video. Yes, he still is obligated to take care of her. Yes, he's still on child support, but at the end of the day, fussing and fighting about money is pointless. God takes care of everybody. You don't want to do right, God will take care of you. You do right, God will take care of you. Either way, ultimately, God has the final say-so, and he will provide for those, trusting and believing in him. So for me, it's not something I want to argue about. It's not something I want to go back and forth about. Like I said, it's not fair. Life ain't fair. But I just rather be focused on being an excellent mom, a servant to God, versus me arguing with a human about their responsibilities. I refuse to do that. God will constantly provide. Always remember that. He is the source. He is Jehovah Jireh. All right. I'm not sure if that kind of helped explain about child support. Like, yes, the party is obligated unless they can prove otherwise. It just accumulates. at the end of the day, it just keeps stacking up. And I don't know about other states, but in the state of Texas, the parent who owes child support will pay until it's paid. So let's say the child is 35 years old, right? Like the child is grown. The other party is still, still has to pay that debt if they still living. I believe it cuts into any like social security that the parent tries to draw or anything like that, because you clearly didn't take care of your kid this whole time, but you want the government to take care of you. I'm just saying. I actually have a friend who, when her biological dad gets a job, she gets child support sometimes, and she is 27 years old. So it does accumulate, but at the same time, and sometimes you see something, sometimes you don't. That's why you can't be relying on it. It just is what it is. And like I said, I hope this helps, because it's easier to rely on God than to rely on a man. And that's human person. When I say man, like woman, male. But you guys stay blessed, you guys stay encouraged, and stay in the word, y'all. Bye.